Greetings, listeners, and welcome to another action-packed episode of Eberron Adventures, brought to you by the Wednesday Night Crew. Join us as we take a journey and go on adventures with our favorite students from Windshire University. Lucar, a halfling sorcerer with wild magic that comes from his patron. Sibling? Patron? Well, anyway, her name's Astrid. Skogar, a half-orc bounty hunter with a passion for map-making and painting. But not painting portraits, more like fences and walls. But maybe he has a secret or two of his own. Azuri, a Kalashtar cleric hiding from the dreaming dark. Kashan, a changeling that is a roguish paladin with his own agenda. Lissa, a human wizard who is into mage breeding and has a familiar named Bigwing. And last but not least is Velma, a half-elf rogue who has an investigative streak and a dark magic dagger. So join us as we listen to these adventurers as they work through their studies and their extracurricular activities to, dare I say, become heroes? Let's pick up where we left off.
All right, welcome back. I believe this is now session 4 of year 2, and we're gonna kind of jump right into where we left off. I'm going to show a couple fun pictures here to really kind of set the mood. So when we last left our intrepid group of adventurers, you were in Irontown, and you were at the horror show puppetry, and you just met Kara Horror Show for the very first time. And I'm going to show you a photo of her and give a little bit of an explanation as to her background. Just moving my windows around so I can make sure that what did I just do? Hold on. I've had technical difficulties just slightly. Bear with me. I'll edit this out and post. It's fine. There we go. Good. Okay. So we have Kara Horror Show. So Kara she's a dark elf, aka drow, and she makes puppets that one might think, based on the appearance of them, they look like they were drawn by AI, but trust me, they're not. She's very cordial. So as you approach the entrance to the puppet store, I think Lucar, if I recall, you were probably sort of leading the group into this store, right?
Sure.
Okay. So as you just come in, because it's, there's an open sign. You go in, you open the door, and you walk in, and you see shelves and shelves and shelves of all these different kinds of puppet designs, and all these, it's all different types. You see some antique style, you see some wooden ones, you see some stone ones, you see all different kinds of materials, and some of them are made with different fabrics, and you've got jesters and clowns, and different races represented. You even see there's a Warforged puppet. There's all these different kinds, and you see Kara. She's actually at a work table, and she's working on a puppet, and then she turns and she sees you come in, and she said, well, hello there. How may I help you today?
We are looking for a puppet.
Well,
and we heard you're the place to be.
I believe you have come to the right place. As a matter of fact, yes, I am known to be the finest puppeteer in the land, for sure.
These are quite amazing.
Thank you.
You made all these yourself?
Oh yes. I mean, I find inspiration throughout all my travels, and it's actually it's very interesting. There's many of them have quite the stories behind them. Some of them are imbued with some, basic magic, but more so just to enhance the puppeteering, right? So, if this is a hobby for you, something that you're interested in, I'm sure that we can find something that would be great for an introductory level. Unless, of course, this is something you've been doing for quite some time, then maybe we should maybe ramp it up to a slightly above amateur level, if you will.
No, no, no. This would be my first time. But really, you could stay in business just making puppets. Like, is there that much of a demand for puppets here in
Oh, oh, my dear. Well, what's your name?
Lucar?
Well, Lucar, it's very nice to meet you. My name's Kara, as I believe I said initially. The So we didn't really talk about price, if you will, on any of these. Being that I am the top one of the top producers of this craft in the land, I I fetch a pretty hefty price for my work.
Yeah, I can tell the ones that I'm seeing up front here just they look like they have a lot of craftsmanship to them and a lot of a lot of work. And I, I don't know if I need that much.
One might say a very in-depth attention to detail.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we need that exactly.
Okay. Well, then
Might
what?
be
Tell
looking
me.
at your
Tell me. I mean, tell me a little bit of what you're looking for. Maybe that will help. Maybe if I understand like what your intention is, right? Your purpose of coming and what you're looking for, maybe I can really help find the right one that fits your style and what you need.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you've heard this before. We just basically need some sort of storage vessel for an all-powerful being that would inhabit this puppet on our plane of existence. You know,
Oh,
the normal
oh,
thing.
yes, yes, yes. Okay, okay. Well, I haven't. This is exciting. I haven't had one of these in at
And
least
I
a,
and
at
I
least
say
a
I
year
look
or
and I
two.
see this one up here. It looks like it's made of silver, and this one, like, I don't know if that's like a cherry tree, but like it looks like a very expensive type of wood that
Mm,
and just like I can see the varnish and the polish and the care. I mean, I'm just looking for like your basic like oak tree, maybe got felled by a piece of lightning, and
okay.
you took a couple of chisels to it, bam, bam. Nothing, nothing special. I think we really just need the basic bargain,
Well,
big lots version of a puppet.
I mean, oh, are you referring to? Wait, so when you say, are you referring to the Big Lots to the Big Lots puppet chain over in Eldine Reaches? Is that what you're
Yeah,
referencing?
like you're sort of
I mean, to be fair, they do shit work, but I understand where you're coming from. I mean, it's not once a once the vessel has been inhabited, there's really not much concern about the state of the puppet, so to speak, right? Because the what inhabits that vessel is definitely, you know, takes care of itself, if you will. So, what exactly could you maybe it'll help me to understand what exactly is inhabiting this puppet? Is it going? Are we talking like? Is it a spirit? Is it a oh, I don't know. Is it some sort of a maybe like a weird little like lich of some kind? I mean, like the little liches, that the floating head things or whatever they are. I've only heard of them. I haven't really had a moment of someone coming to me with that. But just help me understand.
Kara, I've got to hand it to you. You're asking the absolute right questions. I like this consultative sales approach in which you
Thank you.
try to find out exactly what is needed and then fit me to the right product.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, I really don't know. Like I've got this weird relationship with this thing, and
Mm.
um, I really think that whatever we choose, he'll inhabit it in his own way and make
Okay.
it
Well, is
special.
it a
Really,
thing? Let me ask you this. This will help. Is it a thing or is it a person?
yeah, exactly.
Ooh, interesting.
And like I'm again, just like this one, it looks like it's made out of some almost flesh-like material. I don't know how you did that. And this one, I've never even seen this manner of material. It's like, I don't even know, like sort of furry and yet puffy and like just nothing I've seen in nature, but yet you've been able to create this. And I'm just sort of sorting out of character. I'm like sorting through all of these things and all these
like...
dazzling puppets just everywhere. And then I say, wait a minute. This is the puppet of a all-powerful being. And I sort of look at a dark corner.
And there it is.
And behind all these really cool-looking puppets is this thing. And I say, yes, that is it. Only that could be the puppet of the one true carpenter.
And she's like, oh, well, I mean, okay. This one's, it's a little bit unfinished. I
take it we have no say in this, or
would you like me to touch up the hair a bit? Well, by all means, role play it out. Like, feel free to interject or whatever out of game. Just say this. Like, you guys are witnessing this conversation taking place, and
I thought we were going
the puppet. You see the puppet he shows.
I thought we were going to like nod creepy. I mean, I thought we kind of just, it was understood that this was going to be creepy enough as it is, that we were trying to go with like a not creepy version. I mean,
does it blink? Can it shut its eyes?
Can it shut its mouth? Jeez.
Can it hide those teeth?
No kidding. So, give it some lips, please.
So for the sake of description, for the potential listeners later on,
it's an awful evil puppet.
Yeah, it's got that big weird paper puffy collar, puffy shirt with stripes, and
got a Prince Valiant haircut.
Yes, a Prince Valiant bowl cut, and giant, like what looked like to be very giant, oversized wooden horse teeth, and some shoes that aren't quite as pointy as are showing in this picture. They're probably a little bit more rounded than what this is.
So, Kara, I think my fellow patrons here, or not patrons, my fellow party members here are, I don't think that they see the inherent rightness of this puppet to what we're trying to do here. I'm wondering if maybe you could like paint it purple and yellow on the shirt, like maybe give it some color. And I think maybe that'll change your mind. What do you think, Kashan? Like if we put some color on it, that'll be good, right?
Yeah, like maybe like put it in a bucket of paint.
No,
well, I got a lot of paint.
Yeah, Kara's an expert here. We don't just tell her to dump it in paint. Like, she uses her skill. Like, I'm sure you could do a great job. Maybe purple and yellow stripes on the shirt. Maybe some, I don't know, yellow hair, like straw, golden almost. It'd be perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this is befitting a someone of Astrid's nature.
I mean, Luca, you are the one who knows Astrid, so I guess we have to take your word for it. If you think that this embodies Astrid the best, sure.
I mean, I really I like the idea. And so she takes she's like, allow me just a few moments. Please, feel free to continue to look around for about 5 to 10 minutes. And then she takes
Skogar, before she goes off, he hands her one of his little paint vials. And be like, I prefer if we use this blue here. And he holds it up to Sean. Is that fine? Or up to Kashan.
Yeah,
sorry.
Or Kashan.
I'm sorry, Skogar. Where'd you get this paint from? I didn't realize you were such an artist.
Well, in the supply closet, right back at school. So Skogar has thrown these paint. Well, he threw the first time he did it was a paintbrush, and he used that to mark someone. I don't know if you all know that he marked it, but he has been
yeah.
throwing some paint at people here and there.
That's right.
So he carries around just a few pouches, each holding a different color of paint.
If I recall, it's like his way of doing hunter's marks, right? Kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm trying to lean into the campaign,
the bounty hunter.
Bounty hunter that you gave me.
Yeah, maybe we could paint his pants that. It'll look like a pair of jeans.
Yeah.
Denim, like a real man, a puppet of the people, as it were.
Well, it's not tight black leather, but they're still cool.
I mean, maybe like a burlap sack that we can also then fill with rocks and throw in a river.
So Kara's like, this is an interesting paint, but okay. So she takes it and then you see like her very very fluid, like her arms are just moving around in like this very fluid, almost like a Avatar Airbender type way, right? Of like just like hands waving around and like doing stuff to this puppet, and then a short 10 minutes later she turns around with it and the weird collar is gone. The teeth are shaped a little bit more nicely. You notice now that the mouth has a little bit more movement to it. Then you see that there's movable eyelids. The hair is like trimmed up a little bit nicer, and you see that the blue. You got what did you say? Yellow and what?
Yellow and purple stripes on the shirt, and then blue pants to look like almost blue jeans.
So that's exactly what you see. And she says, "How is this? How does this work for you?"
You are definitely a master.
Why, thank you. Why, thank you. And says, "Okay, that'll be 75 gold."
Oh, ay caramba.
Jeez.
Oh man.
Can you knock a gold off? Because I saved you or gave you some paint.
Well,
yeah, really.
That's fair. That's fair. My orcish friend. Let's call it. You know what, Lucar, you've been very personable and an easy to get along with customer. So why don't we call it? Let's just say an even 70. How about that? I mean, and it's really bargain basement prices coming from my skill set.
I turn around and like say, can anyone spot me about 12 gold pieces? I don't remember how flush we are. I've written down that I have 57 gold.
Skelgar steps right up. Yeah, I can do that. He pulls out his little notebook.
Skogar, I will give you 24 gold not to let him buy this.
Double your money.
And so Skogar writes down Lucar's name. And that you said 12 gold. He puts 12 gold on there. Then he hands you the gold and says, yeah, but don't violate the payment terms. There you go.
It's like to just for the sake of like some continuity, it's like the book's got like Vince the gnome, and it's like got all these names of like different people at the college and the amount of money that
there's a few janitors on there that we discussed last week too.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I count off my 57 gold, Skogar's 12 gold, and then I'm getting down to my like silver, and then like I get down to my copper, and I just pull together exactly 70 with my last piece of copper. And I just sort of slide it over to Kara.
Says, "Oh, excellent, thank you so very much." And she takes it and she puts it away. She has a small pouch on her, like hanging off of like a low hanging belt that's around her waist, and it's a very small pouch, and you've just given her a decent little chunk of money that doesn't look like it would fit in there, but she opens the pouch and conveniently enough, that money just fits right in with no problem.
I'm not forgetting that we got extra money at anywhere along the line, right? Like we're still poor college students, yes?
Yes, definitely. Kashan didn't get any extra money anywhere. He's just a poor college student.
Yeah, not at all. Nope.
I wouldn't think. I wouldn't know where we would have gotten more money from.
I mean, like Lissa got straight A's last year for reasons. And then Skogar's got his little side hustle going. But yeah, no one else is really, I would say, very flush with. I think Velma might be doing okay, kinda, but
I made some money taking naughty pictures over the.
yeah, she was doing.
But what about these?
Were you taking the pictures,
I guess we
or were
don't
you
want
posing the
to
pictures?
show these jewels
Ooh.
that were picked up in Sharp Feather Farmstead.
Oh yeah.
That's probably not a good idea.
So, okay, so then she says, Lucar, do you need a box? Box or bag or anything for?
Yeah, I
It's
think
fine.
the box
It's
for
fine
the time
craft.
being until
Okay.
we need to use it would be fine. Yeah.
So you don't want to wear it out. Okay.
Right, exactly.
So you don't want to scrape that paint off. So she opens the lid of a box and she puts it in there and like almost like tucks it in, right? And then closes the lid and says, okay, well, here you go. Is there anything else you need?
Can't imagine what.
Says, well, do you need any help with the transfer?
I don't know.
And then the white and then the good old familiar white noise comes into your head, and Astrid starts talking to you. So Luke, you got it? Did you get it?
Yes, it's in this box.
Does it look cool?
Yes. Yes, it does.
Yeah, I'm so stoked.
We
I
went
can't
to the
wait.
best puppeteer maker in the town.
You saw Kara?
Yes.
Oh yeah, she's the shit. She's so good at what she does. Man, some of those puppets are super creepy and but like chock full of magic, and they do crazy stuff. There's some cursed ones in there, man. She's all over the place. It's pretty cool. She's very customer service oriented on many levels.
I felt that entirely.
Yeah, she's pretty powerful. She's pretty powerful for sure. So are you gonna?
You're just gonna like jump in there, right?
Are you gonna have her? Are you gonna have her like help you with this thing or with this process or what?
You can't. I figured that was something you could take care of. Now that you can't just.
Well, see, I mean, like I need something. I need someone on the other side to do to do a little bit of the work. It's basically just like kind of like flipping the switch and I do the rest kind of thing, you know.
Yeah, here's the thing. I have a feeling she's going to charge a little bit of money for this, and I'm a little out of cash, Astrid.
Oh, damn! What a shame.
So, did you like? But what did you tell her it was for?
Oh, you know the usual. Why does anyone need a puppet? To have something inhabit it, right? A life force.
Okay. So. Okay. But did you?
I mean, if it's part of the package, I could ask her and see if she throws it in.
But did you tell her like? Did you tell her who?
I didn't mention your name. I didn't mention your name at all.
Maybe I would have figured she would have recognized you. Tell her it's for me.
All right.
And then the white noise goes away.
Hey, Kara, it turns out that maybe I do need your assistance with the transfer, if that's something that you can help with. It's for Astrid. Do you know Astrid?
Oh, and she gets like, her face changes and she gets so excited. She's like, oh, finally. I've been waiting for years, for years to see them again. Oh, this is exciting. Yes, of course.
Yeah,
come on, let's go. Come on.
Okay, all right.
Come on.
Where are we going?
And then she goes behind like She goes behind like a shelf and like kind of slides it over. And it's like a bookshelf, but it's like full of puppets. She kind of slides it out of the way. And there's like a trap door going, and she opens it up and there's stairs going down.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I'll grab the box. You want just me, or should the rest of the group come with us?
They can.
They might
Neither
be
here nor
interested.
there. They can come or go. Matters not.
Yeah, they might. I mean, this might not something you see every day, right?
Oh, I'm
Oh.
coming for sure.
Oh, indeed not.
And Kara, there's no mirrors down here, right?
No what?
Mirrors, looking glass, reflections.
No.
Good.
no.
All right. Yeah, this is terrific. Astrid's gonna love it.
Not sure why that necessarily matter. Oh, I see. Yes, you're concerned that Astrid may not like the appearance of this
No,
puppet.
not at all. I just,
I'm sure
let
they'll
him-
be. I'm sure they'll be fine with it. I'm sure they'll be fine. And so she takes you down. She takes you downstairs, and she's like, okay. And then you see like there's this big like this big huge round table. Okay, so first of all, who goes downstairs and who stays upstairs?
Lissa's right there. She's
Okay.
got a little notebook out with a pencil. She's gonna take some notes.
Nice.
yeah, Velma, you might want to get some pictures of this. This could be pretty cool.
Oh, wait. There'll be no pictures of the actual moment of transfer. Pre and
Well, maybe
post
some
is
of the
fine. Pre and post is
prep
fine, but
work?
no.
Yeah, prep and post. Like,
Yes,
Can we get before
Yes.
after picture? Sure. All right.
sure, that's fine. I will allow that. For Astrid, I will make that allowance. Yes. Anyone else coming?
For the show?
I mean, I'm hesitant that we should even be doing this in the first place, you guys.
Azuri,
Here.
come on, you gotta come. It's gonna be so cool. And maybe you
Kara's-
can write a book about it.
Kara's like,
Oh, that's
she goes like this to you, Azuri. She goes like this. She goes, then you just stay upstairs, boy. It's fine.
I mean, Azuri's right now very torn as to whether he should like be with his people, or because he really doesn't want to be there for this. He is just.
She says, She says, if you'd like, while you wait, you can look at some of my newer puppet designs over here. I've got some Warforged style. I've got some Dreaming Dark. I've got a lot of really great, interesting puppets over here.
No. You know what? It sounds great. I'll go with you guys.
I knew you'd
Excellent.
make the right decision.
Sounds good. You Goldilocks. Are you coming? What's your?
Me?
Yes, you.
No. This is. I think I'm with Azuri on that. I think I'll stay up here.
Okay. And anyone else? And she looks at you, Skogar, and looks at Velma. No time to
Skogar
waste.
Skogar looks over his shoulder. He's over at one of the shelves. You guys, these are pretty cool. And he's like clinking two of them together.
Please. Okay. You're very friendly. You're very nice, and your paint was actually pretty good. I actually am considering talking to you later about where you're getting this paint from, because it's a very the pigment is very strong. However, I have a saying here in the store. You break it, you buy it. So if you could be careful, I'd appreciate that. Okay.
Yeah, he gingerly sets him down and then goes, "Oh, there's a mimic one. That's so cool." All right, yeah. Like I'll go watch the show. This is cool.
So okay, so yeah, you go down, and what's Velma doing? Is Velma staying or
Yeah, I'll
staying
come
upstairs
down
or going?
for the
Okay.
photo opportunity.
All right. So she takes you down. Lucar's leading the way. So then it sounds like just Kashan's going to stay up, and because Azuri got a little freaked out by the Dreaming Dark puppets. Is that what I gather?
He just didn't want to go see them at all for any reason whatsoever.
Okay. So then, yeah. So she leads the way downstairs into the basement, and you go down the stairs, and you come into this open area. The floor is like a mix of like dirt and some brick embedded into the dirt, right on the flooring. And you see a very large, round wooden table with a wrought iron edge around it. You see a bunch of like glyphs etched into the actual tabletop around the outside, around the outer diameter of the table. And like the legs of the table are very ornate underneath. So it's really like it's like those round tables where it's got the center post underneath and then the feet shoot out from below. So it's like there's no table legs. It's just like the one big post, and she just kind of, you see, she's because you have the box, Lucar. So she's like snapping her fingers. She's like kind of pointing and snapping, and like different like different candles, like gas lantern light up like in the basement, and she's getting everything like kind of squared away, and she's going over to one of the walls and finding like a few small vials, and she's like sprinkling some powder around in different spots, and like adding extra, like pouring some ink inside some of the lines of some of the glyphs, like, so she's adding all these accents and accoutrements to the work that's already on the table, and she's really like adding all this extra layer, and she's like, okay, Lugar, if you could please put that in the center of the table.
Got it. So I take it out of the box and put it in the middle of the table.
Okay, that's great. And then she says, maybe open the lid, because it's never good when the body first gets inhabited that they think that they're just sort of in a.
Oh no, I took it out of the box. I put the box.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I took it out of the box and put it just. Yeah.
Even better. And she just kind of she kind of chuckles a little bit. She's like, well, I wish you would have picked a better one for dear old Astrid, but okay. Like, she kind of
better one. Herself. This is some great work you did here. I think this is perfect.
Oh, I'm not saying this is bad work. I'm just saying that someone of Astrid's caliber should probably be in a vessel that's a little bit nicer, but it's fine. It's fine. That is for you and them. That is for you and them to have that conversation.
I mean, I only had 57 gold, Kara.
That is fair. I appreciate that.
And besides, I mean, isn't it really about what you bring to it? Like,
well, I mean,
it's not the clothes that make the man, as it were, right?
She says,
this vest was nothing until I put it on.
She says, well, I mean, thank you for that. I appreciate that. I definitely do take I take a lot of pride, take a great deal of pride in my work, and I mean, I can see where you're coming from on that. So she's laying out more powders and all this stuff, and then she positions a few candles, like more like at like compass points, like north, south, east, west, and lights the candles, and then she starts an incantation, and it starts out, it's very low tone, very monotone, very just sort of whispery mutterings and murmurings in a language that none of you recognize, and at some points her voice gets a little bit louder, and then it goes back down again, and it's like this kind of almost like a syncopated change in the volume of her voice at this lower volume, and then she stops, and when she stops, like the lantern lights all dim, and then they come back on, and they come back to full light, and then her voice goes up a couple octaves, and she's another incantation, and she's and then you hear this like it's almost like an electricity type of sound as you see a very small, really narrow, skinny bolt of lightning come from the ceiling and just like through the ceiling, like not damaging it, but almost like it's like an astral lightning bolt almost, right? Where it's like shoots through and like hits the puppet and then and goes through the puppet and through the table, and it's just like, and it stays there, and it's just like kind of like it's kind of like vibrating and shaking, moving around, and then like it gets a little bit brighter and a little bit brighter and a little bit brighter, and then it gets really bright to the point where all of you get blinded temporarily, and then it dims out, and then the bolt goes away, and you can start to see like the puppet is starting to like kind of vibrate on the table a little bit, and just vibrating, and then her voice gets a little bit higher pitched, and she does another incantation again, and this time you see 3 bolts all come from different directions, all centered on that puppet, and this time it's like they go through the ceiling, which is the floor from up above, and then they just so like Kashan, since you're upstairs, you're seeing these random weird ghost bolts like shooting through the puppet shop. You're like, what the hell's going on down there? So that's what you see from where you are.
I'm kind of eyeing the cash register the entire time.
That's fair. Just let me know what your sleight of hand is. Not that you really need it. But since there's nobody up there. So these next set of bolts, like they hit the puppet, and the puppet just starts like shaking, and then it starts to like kind of like lightly bounce like on the table a little bit. And then there's this one last bright flash, and then there's just a bunch of, and then all the lights go out, and then the lantern lights come back on. The bolts are gone, the bolts are gone, and there's just like all of this like fog, and then like just coming off of the surface of the table, and you can faintly see the puppet laying like in the center of the table, just not moving.
Did it work? Did you do it?
Well, why don't you ask them yourself?
Astrid, you here?
As you say that, like you see the puppet, like you see the puppet goes like this and like stretches and goes.
It's a photo op.
And goes, and you hear this voice. It's like, oh man, jeez, what a trip. And puppet sits up and looks around. It's like, oh, hey, Carol, what's going on? That's been a minute. How you doing? And Kara's like, oh, Astrid, that voice is a little interesting. It's like, yeah, I'm not 100% sure what's up with that exactly. I mean, I don't normally sound like this, so I don't know. Maybe did he pick a good puppet? And she looks.
I don't know. You actually kind of sound like me, which I don't know if I should be freaked out about that or like flattered.
Did you ever think maybe you sound like me? How about that?
Ooh. I mean, this is my first time hearing you. I really think that it's more like you sounding like me.
Well, you've had a tough ordeal there. Why don't you get in the bag? And we'll be off.
You talking to Astrid? Is that what you're saying? Astrid's like, I'm not getting in a fucking bag. I don't know what you think I am.
I mean, to be fair, Astrid, Kara uses boxes. Pretty classy, actually. Not bags. This isn't like Giant Eagle or something.
It's like, and she was like, it's like, Luke, I haven't. I've seen you through, bathroom mirrors and stuff, and we've talked a little bit. But this like seeing you in person. It just really hits home. You're looking good. You're looking good, guy. You're looking good.
Yeah, so you. Good to have you around. Anyhow, all right. So that checks off my mission for you, right? Like now let's find another adventure, eh?
And then she sits up and she stands up, all like puppety and stuff, and just kind of is like, oh, and like her legs are all wobbly and shit. And she's like, and they're like, oh, she's like, oh, okay, I gotta just give me a second. I gotta get used to this.
Sure.
She's like, and then you see, and you see them go. Like they look down,
Mm.
and then Astrid looks at you, and like you see the puppet eyes get somehow expressive, which is kind of weird. And Astrid looks and kind of like looks at their arms and their hands. She's, and then like touches their head and then feels their face. It's like, and then they look down and they go, what kind of shit is this? The only good thing about this whole outfit is my pants.
Yeah, we have Skogar to thank for that. Hey, Skogar. Nice work on the pants.
Yeah, they're pretty bitchin'.
Hey, big guy, this your color? This you?
Well, it's yours now. You're really owning it. Who the hell are you?
But that whole mark with paint thing you do, that shit's not going to work on me. Just so we're clear, I know the gist of what you're trying to do, but that's not gonna, not gonna happen. But I like the blue. It's a good look.
Yeah, you're a little sharper than you seem. No pun intended.
I'm made out of fucking wood, so yeah, I got some pointy edges here, so it would appear as though I am a little bit sharp, if you will. Luke, man, you could have foot the bill for something a little bit nicer than this, I think.
I think it's wonderful. I think it suits you well.
Dude, you're gonna need more work than I thought you were gonna need. Gosh, pain in the ass. then she's like, all right. She's like, hang on a second. And then they turn, so like they turn around and they like to not face you. And then you see like she's like making all these like motions with her hands and stuff, and you hear and then she's saying these some of these incantations in this high pitched voice. She's like, it's like, and then she goes, and then you see it's like this it's like big puff of smoke, and then the outfit changes a little bit, and then Astrid turns around, and now Astrid looks like this. If it opens up, where'd it go? Where'd you go? Oh, here we go. Astrid looks like that.
Oh.
And she's and you're like, this is so much better.
Yeah.
I like the look. That is much better.
Thanks.
I'm Lissa, by the way.
Yeah. You're that Lissa. Yeah, you're that Lissa chick. You seem all right. Hey, man. Sorry about your mom. That's pretty shitty. That really sucks.
Yeah, but anyway, so I was wondering, could I ask you what you are, if you don't mind?
You could.
Okay, well, so I just really like studying magic and all that kind of things, and I've never heard of you before. So what are you exactly? Besides a puppet right now. Ha ha ha.
Okay, so first of all, I want to be clear that I identify as a female. And she just glares at you, Lucar.
Oh.
She's like, I mean, I try to, I really try to respect, gender fluidity and all that stuff, but I am female. You've been walking around going him, he. Just recognize, okay?
All
Please.
right. A good starting point. The gender. Yes.
She fixes her bow on her head.
Right.
And then she's like, and then she points at you, Alyssa, and she's like, well, hold on a second. I need to test something out. Hey, Luke, I need you to put your hand over my head about maybe a foot or so above my head, and spread your fingers out. Jesus Christ, just do it, man. Come on.
All right, I do it.
And then as you do
this
it,
is sort of nice. Usually I can't put my hand over anybody's head, but
as you do it, like all of a sudden you see these yellow tendrils, like strings, come down out of your fingers and attach to Astrid. And she's like, oh yeah. And then she's like, Kara, you really nailed it. This is amazing. She's like, all right, now she says, okay, Luke, all right, lift me up.
With my hand, sure.
Yeah. And she's like, oh, it's like, this shit's sweet. This is so
wait
cool.
a minute. You were moving just fine like 2 minutes ago before I was doing this. What's the purpose of me being able to do this?
So I'm a puppet.
Yeah.
Okay. Although I am, I guess, sentient. Is that maybe the word? Probably. Like, I mean, I'm not physically here. Okay. So I'm kind of limited in how much I can do my own actions and activity.
Okay.
So I'm going to be relying on you to help me be able to do the things I do. And then she looks over at Azuri, but it's like kind of all slow and like creepy. Like she's like, what? Why you look so freaked out, man? You never seen a living puppet before? You're not even talking, just moving your mouth.
Listen, I'm just in that much of a state of shock seeing, a puppet do these sort of things. It's like I'm having a hard time deciding if you're like alive or dead or undead, because I'm a cleric and I don't like those undead sort of things.
Okay. I'm not undead.
I don't know if that makes me feel much better.
But wait, is that a double negative? Does it mean I am dead? I'll let you think about that. So listen, back to your question. So what other questions did you have?
She's thrown off. She's thinking about are you dead? No, I don't think so. I don't think that's what that means. So are you like a patron? You know how like some certain magic users have patrons? Are you like one of those? Like are you fae? Are you? I mean, because you seem definitely magical. I don't think you're, human.
I'm really starting to think you're like the smartest one in the group. I mean,
I've known this for a year. It's okay.
I'm right here. Like my hand is over your head.
A little tear goes to Skogar's eye. Oh.
It's funny though, like, because Lucar, you're holding it and you got the strings, but yet Astrid's moving because the strings are connected to your hand, right? And like you're not necessarily moving her. Like some of her actions of her moving her little puppet hands and stuff are you can like you feel your fingers kind of getting tugged as these things are happening, right? So she's like, so Yes, I am. I am Faye.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. And then she's like, do you want to know? Do you want to know a secret?
Absolutely. Sure.
Okay, so I'm going to message you what that secret is. Um, she comes up to you like she goes like this, like, and like wipes away the yellow strings, and then like kind of like bounds over, and then like jumps up onto your shoulder. She's like right by,
Nice.
so she's like right by your ear, and she's like,
Oh, okay. Yeah, no worries.
and she says, and that's what she says to you.
I won't tell anyone. Absolutely.
While that's happening, I reach into one of my vest pockets and I get a big piece of like a French bread baguette type of thing.
All right.
I'm like, hey, Big Wing, would you like some bread? Hey, Big Wing.
Big Wing flies right over.
I put my arm out so I can feed Big Wing. And meanwhile, I'm just like looking at Astrid and Lissa. Like, oh, I thought you might enjoy this, Big Wing.
And then,
I'm not jealous at all.
And then, did you get your you got the message?
Yeah, I got the message.
All right, great, awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah. So she's like, oh, so then yes, so Astrid goes, okay, so you can't say a word.
My lips are
Aren't you
sealed.
a good bird, Big Wing? What a good bird you are.
And then she
Hey, I've got something to tell you, Big Wing.
She said that you hear Astrid go, oh, Jesus Christ, seriously, he's so sensitive. And she jumps off Alyssa's shoulder, and she comes bounding over, and she jumps up onto your shoulder, Lucar, which is a much shorter jump. And she like has her arm like on your head, kind of like this. And she's like, all right, so now I'm back. It's all good. Everything's cool. No problem.
Is that stuff on your face, like, is that real blood? Is that paint? Can we wipe it off? Can I have Kara maybe clean that up a little bit? I'm just saying, when you haven't met the whole group yet, you might remember Jack. He I don't think he's going to be a fan of the bleeding eye look.
Oh, okay. Well, why don't we let him be the judge of that? How about that? Does that sound good? I think that's a great idea.
Yeah. Okay.
And then it says, so thanks, Kara. I think we're gonna take off. There's lots of stuff to do. Got to get these guys back to school and everything. You know, we got shit to do.
Kara, did you make this one, or like?
Oh no, dear, no. I no. That's Astrid did that. She one might say she used a version of, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Astrid, but it appears she used a version of like a polymorph spell almost upon herself to.
Oh, okay. So what I paid for is still sort of here. So I like no refund type of deal.
Says, well, that is, you paid for the vessel, and there's no refund for the vessel. So I mean, the vessel determine if the vessel is inhabited, and that inhabitant decides to change the paint on the outside of the house. I mean, it's kind of their prerogative.
Sure. All right. Well, thank you. Appreciate the work.
She says, so I understand. It's Astrid, I think you went a tad bit creepy. And then Astrid goes, yeah, I know. Is it pretty cool? It's pretty sweet. Alyssa likes it. I could tell.
It's so cool.
She thinks it's awesome.
Excellent choices.
And even I think even that Azuri guy is starting to think it's okay too.
We gotta go show Kashan.
Oh yeah. Let's go. Yeah, let's go. Come on, Luke. Let's meet this other guy. Let's go. Let's go upstairs. Come on.
I puppeteer Astrid up the stairs. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop.
I'm like, it's like doing these really, really cool like moves as she's going up the stairs, and you're like, and then you're like, wow, I'm actually better at this than I thought. And so assumingly you all head back upstairs, and Kashan, you see for the first time this different puppet than what was picked upstairs, or than what was picked and brought downstairs. You see this different puppet, and the puppet looks at you and it's like, man, I'm assuming you look like Kashan, right?
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
holding just a random puppet that I was about to show off, but I'm like, no, sure, okay, no, Luca, this is so much better.
She's
Okay.
like, she's like, she looks at you, she's like, man, you are one fine specimen, I must say. Mm-hmm. I'm Astrid, by the way.
Yeah, okay. Look at this one. Looks like Dean Branchbreaker, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
I'd like to buy this one. Maybe Astrid. Maybe it could be your husband.
Oh,
I don't know how you toys do things.
I see. I found the comedian of the group, huh? Is that what I'm looking at right now?
I mean, I don't know. Like, I try to be funny, but I don't think anything's funny as this walking puppet that's in front of me. I mean, you're the show, right?
I mean, yeah, I guess I am. That's true. It's a very astute observation of you, I would say.
No, the blood is very edgy. I love it.
Yeah, it's more of a design, but yeah,
Yeah, no, it's totally. Like I see you're totally like, I gotta watch out for you. Am I right?
I mean, yeah, no, as long as you behave, no, it's fine. We'll be good. It's all good. No worries.
And if we don't behave,
I'm not worried.
Don't ask.
Well, let's just not go down that road, huh? Let's not worry about
Hey,
that.
listen. As long as Lucar keeps you on his strings, I'm sure it'll be fine.
And she's like, she just kind of makes a noise and sighs a little bit. It's like, all right, Luke, where are we going? What are we doing? What's happening? What are we?
But yeah,
what's
I'm
the
getting
deal?
this deep branch breaker one. Totally. This is awesome.
And as you say that, Kara comes back up and says, "Oh, I see you found one of my lizard folk puppets. Yes, I do. I like those a lot. It's a very nice material. Did you have interest in one?"
Yeah, this branch breaker one. This one's amazing. It's an absolute likeness.
Oh, of the dean, right?
Yeah, like do you know him?
We've run in some circles together here and there a little bit, yes. I'll let that one I'd let that one go to you for 35 gold.
Yeah, okay, here you go. I'll take it. I mean, that's totally worth it. I got my own branch breaker.
She takes it and she takes
Does the price include downloading the dean into the puppet? Does it come with instructions?
It's like no, the dean is since he's on the same plane you guys are on, so it won't work like that. I'm sorry. This is a more traditional puppet. And Astrid's like, all right, let's man, I've been waiting for this for a while, Luke. Let's go. Where to next? Where to next? What's next for the adventure? What's happening? What are you guys doing?
We were going to go tour that chipper shedder factory.
The what?
Like the sawmill, where they cut wood. No? Okay. Sorry, I went out on a limb there.
Good ones.
Well, I've got to be back at Windshire and by Monday morning. So, what day is it?
Well, shit. I think we better get moving. And it's like Sunday late afternoon, like very late afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, if we miss a class, we miss a class, Velma. It's no big deal.
I got some extracurriculars going on.
On
So,
Monday morning?
Yeah. So what?
So Teddy Rex spin. We were all like agreed on that one.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we all are. I guess it's kind of there. Didn't somebody else have any like? What was somebody else's side story here going on here?
We were looking for. Nope, that was the dragon shard. We picked that up. Yeah.
I need to investigate the mage spheres at some point, but that could wait.
Can it though? Like that guy was a real jerk, I think that's where we should go next.
Well, it sounds like Velma's got some.
As long as it's on the way back.
No, I don't know. Like I'm supposed to like ask for guidance from higher up in a paladin, maybe even pray or something. I don't know, man. It's like really like I don't know. I just remember doing just doing my own thing, man. Like it's these rules. I tell you, I don't know. I'm not regretting anything or any decisions, any major changes, but some things might not stick. We'll see.
Astrid looks at you, Kashan. It's like, you reevaluating some of your life choices there, buddy?
I pointedly ignore Astrid.
It says, hey, I'm talking to you. You're the sort of paladin, but not really, right? That's your thing now, yeah.
Hey, Astrid, maybe ease it down a bit. I've learned that it's not great. The bear. We sort of got a little group thing going here, and maybe you want to like feel your way in before you start trying to mess with the inner dynamics of the group. Just something I learned.
Astrid looks at you and she just kind of scowls at you a little bit. She's like, he poked first, and then she just goes and goes limp and just sits and is just like slumped on the floor.
All right,
Looks
guys,
like
what are we doing?
Well, I'm glad that thing's going to leave us alone for a while. But
Would you stop it?
Oh no.
So you can head back to Windshire. You can try to find Tuddy in Flamekeep.
Does this puppet burn up in Flamekeep?
Let's go to Flame.
all right, fine. I guess I'll keep lugging this damn crystal around. He hoists it back over his
that's
back.
right.
Yeah, we probably should get rid of that.
Yeah, we need to head back. Tuddy will be, still missing next week, and right?
We can fence those gems we found at the Sharp Feathers.
Mhm.
It'll be all right.
Yeah, and really, we ought to lay low for a little while, anyways. Just considering everything we did back there.
You killed a man with a trident.
As the band of murderers have struck again, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, the sooner we get away from this place, the better.
I'm assuming, yeah, you probably grab head out of outskirts of town, grab a magic coach, yeah.
Yep.
All right. Where's how are you carrying Astrid around?
In the box, but without the lid on top.
Okay. All right. So Astrid is laying in the box chilling, and you get in the magic coach, and you proceed to head back to Windshire, with no random encounters along the way, and a nice, smooth, relaxing ride. And you get back, and it is evening. And you get back to your respective dormitories, and what would you like to do? So, you've got the big dragon shard, you've got Lucar, you've got Astrid with you. Kashan's got the Dean branch breaker puppet. So there's a whole lot of stuff happening with possessions and whatnot that you have. So is there anything specific you'd like to do? It's like it only took a few hours on Magic Coach to get back, because that's pretty speedy. So you have it's not like so late that you can't get into the different schools and stuff. Like, you can still access them until fairly late in the evening. So what would you like to do?
Well, we do have the shard and the shard. And I think it would be interesting if we put it back in the case and it did not match the dust, the dust outlined beneath it. But then I'd just get all jaded and think that I guess the only way to get a dragon shard is to steal it. So just got a different one. They're all like product of theft. No one will notice.
So
won't call out Lucar on his dragon shard.
Yeah, let's check them out. See if it fits the dragon shards.
Okay. So you're taking the one back to the school?
Yeah.
Both of them, I guess, right?
Or are you trying to take the one piece and put it back and see if it fits with the other? I'm not tracking on which thing you're trying to do.
We need to dump the big one because that's getting in our way.
Okay.
Right, but there's nothing that says we need to give the rest of the pieces if there are others that we have. We just say it broke off.
And we forgot about it.
Yeah, we could not recover it, but we got the big piece, so.
So who has the smaller piece?
I think it was Lucar.
Yeah, I think I might have it.
Did you get it from...
Because I pickpocketed it out of Skogar and gave him the big one.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
That's right. So you have the smaller one, and then are you gonna go back and take the big one back to the school then? All right.
Well, I guess Skogar has it. He has to be the determination on that one, right? Weren't we supposed to get the little one and put the shard, give it back? Wasn't that what the dean wanted us to do?
The dean doesn't know it was broken.
The big one is the one that goes in the case.
Well, then let's take that one back.
But the small piece is the piece that was broken, like chipped off of the larger one.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to go back in. So you go back into the school and you go back into that lab area, and you approach the case, and there's no students in the lab area currently. It's just you guys. Do all of you go?
I go.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll go.
Okay. Skog, R. Yes, because you're carrying it. Velma, you go.
No, I'm gonna go see Grandpa.
Okay. You go to see Grandpa. Oh, a little party split. Where are you going, Azuri?
Oh, I'll stick with the big group here. Grandma will be fine.
All right. So you head off. Okay, so then Velma heads off to see Grandpa, and the rest of you go into the lab area, and you see you approach the case, and you've got the big shard. What's the plan?
I guess I just huck it in there, right? So he just unceremoniously just dumps it over his shoulder onto this fragile wooden case.
So let me describe the setting of what it is. So it is a clear display case, glass front, with like what was the thing? The Dial of Destiny and other random stuff in there, along with an empty spot for the shard. So,
yeah. I mean, if he can open the lid, he just plops it back down where it was.
Okay.
Ready to get it off his shoulder.
So you, can you, so the lid is, lid doesn't want to open. Can you do I'm assuming, Skogar would want to like really try to like, why isn't this opening, and pull a little bit harder? Yeah.
Oh, he doesn't have much patience for anything. Yeah. So he figures it's going in there. He's like, this thing's glass. I can just get through it.
Roll a strength check, please.
So he tries to pull up the lid with a 19.
Okay. Yeah. So you pull that case open, and as you pull it open, you hear bells, alarm bells, as you have successfully set off the alarm to the case, but opened it without damaging the door, which is nice. So you managed to open it without damaging it, but it set off the alarms. So you hear like it's like a ding, 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 like ringing like a fire bell almost. And as that bell starts to ring, then Astrid, comes back to life in the box. Lucar, it's like, what the, man, what's going on?
Don't worry about it. We got things under control.
It doesn't sure as shit doesn't look like it. What's the Skog? What the big guy do?
Now we're getting this back to where it belongs.
Man, I don't. Lucar, we might need to talk. We might need to find you some new friends. And then she just lays back down in the box, and then she sits back up. She's like, except for Lissa, she's got a good head. Keep her around. And then she lays back down. And then you hear footsteps, and hastily in a robe comes Dean Branchbreaker running in. And he's like, what's going on in here?
Oh, the other side of this thing is heavy.
You found the shard.
A shard.
I'm looking closely at Kashan to see if he has his hands over the dean or not.
No, but I am just like fiddling with the puppet to see if it makes it does anything.
Yeah.
And the dean just like kind of glances over at you, Kashan, and is like, and just shakes his head and like doesn't even say anything, and just kind of looks at you, Skogar, and is like, oh, you've got the shard, and you okay? Well, hold on, let me. And then he reaches around like the side of the case, and does some feeling around, and then the bell noise stops. And he's like, Skogar, maybe you could have just asked for the key. Would have been a lot simpler, I think.
Yeah, well, I just carried this thing for like 30 miles, so. Yeah, you're lucky I didn't break the case, but, he plops it down, the chip side down. And then closes the glass.
Okay. So the chip side is facing away from.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll do a really quick little. Let's see how sharp and observant the dean is. Not very, so he doesn't notice anything. As you put the shard back in and close the case, like, fantastic work, all of you. Well done. And then he reaches into the pocket of his robe, and he hands Lissa. He hands you a small pouch of coin filled with coin, and he says, "Lissa, please do distribute."
Of course.
And he looks at you, Lucar, and he sees the box in your like under your arm. He's like, "Oh, what's that?"
Souvenir.
Oh, it looks like a puppet. That's Oh, Kashan, it looks as though you have one as well. That looks rather suspiciously like me.
I know, isn't it great?
I mean, it's a tad bit weird, but
they had another one that had like a pirate's captain, like a pirate's captain hat on. That was cool too, but this one looked just like you.
Interesting. Was the pirate one also a lizard too?
Oh yeah, he was like a blue kind of lizard.
Oh,
he was cool looking, but
that's amazing. That's great. I almost wish you would have picked that one. I would like to have seen that one up close.
Yeah, that one was cool, but this one, like, this looks just like you.
And he's like, may I see?
Oh, of course you can. Here you go. And I make the puppet.
And he grabs it. He looks at it, and he's like, oh, did this, and he like flips it over and looks at the bottom of the foot. And the one bottom of the foot says Andy, and he's like, no, not that foot. And he looks at the other foot, and it's like, oh, this is a horror show puppet.
You bet you believe it is. Not as there's another horror show puppet that's really, and yeah.
That's amazing. She does great work. How is she? You saw her. It's been a while since I've seen Kara.
You might want to ask Lucar. He spent a lot of time with her and transpiring with her. I didn't really talk to her too much.
Oh, really? Lucar, tell me, how was your time there? Why did you go there?
Oh, just a request from a friend of the family.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Is that what's in the box? Is that the request?
Yes. Wasn't exactly what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a little bit different, but this is what we ended up with.
Roll a D20.
Well, I didn't realize we were going to be rolling dice today.
I know.
I got a 15.
And I said 1 through 10 was yours, right? I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. So you roll that 15, and then Astrid sits up, and she's like, "What the hell is that? Who's this guy?" And Dean's like, "Oh, why is that talking to me?"
I mean, you said you were familiar with Kara's work. Kara creates vessels. This is a vessel.
She creates puppets. What the hell is this? and he's just like kind of like side eye in this thing. He's like, Luke, I think I can't handle this right now. I'm going back to my home. I need to see you in my office tomorrow morning. We need to talk about this in more detail. And then Astrid starts going like this, like and mimicking the dean, like going like wagging her finger, and she's like, detail. And the dean's like, oh, it's fucking creepy, and he just leaves, and then Astrid just looks at you, Luke, and she's like, it's gonna be a fun year, and then she lays back down, yeah. So let's cut to Velma briefly here. Yeah, so Velma, you go, right where you're going, to go talk to Grandpa, and you actually, let's see here, believe I have, yeah, go. All right, so you go into the administrative buildings, and you head to, as you get towards the general direction of where the of where you believe that grandpa hangs out, and then you see two gnomes that are kind of milling about outside, and they see you, Velma, and they're like, oh, finally it's you, come on this way, come on, let's go this way.
And I will go.
And then takes you to this big building that says facilities, and there's like, you enter into the front door, and there's a foyer with stairs going up and stairs going down, and they're like, come on, and they take you downstairs, and then they take you down, and then at the base of the stairs here, there's a gnome who's like looking at some loaves of bread, and he sees you come down with the two gnomes. He's like, oh, hello, who goes there? Oh, I'm not too good at this guard bouncer stuff. He sets the loaf of bread back down. He puffs out his chest as he looks up at you, because he's a gnome and he's short. He's why are you here?
I got a mentioned message that the strike starts on Monday, and I need to know, is this just a common economic action, or are you actually planning on like violence? Because I can't get behind that.
I think you need to talk to Grandpa. This is Grandpa's plan. I can't. He's just right around the corner, and he points around the corner of the, on the other side of this wall where there's some broken stone. He said, go over there.
All right. I shall walk over there. Is Grandpa asleep?
No, he's actually sitting. He's sitting in a very nice chair.
Excited for the adventure in the morning.
In front of a desk, and he looks at you, and he like slides the chair back and kind of turns it a little bit, and he says, well, hello, Velma. It's good to see you again.
Hello, Grandpa. I heard news that things are finally moving.
Absolutely. Tired of this bullshit around here. We're going to make some changes one way or the other.
We are indeed. We are starting like off as a peaceful economic action, I'm assuming.
Oh,
I got a somewhat ambiguous message about the strike starting on Monday morning.
Yes, I'm not going to put my boys in harm's way. That's
good.
That's crazy talk.
I can keep an eye out for agitators if you suspect any.
Define these agitators that you speak
They
of.
generally come from outside and give the administration an excuse to escalate things to imprison to a lawful counteraction.
Oh, almost like planted fascists, if you
Yes,
will,
exactly.
to throw off the intent and purpose of these peaceful protests that we wish to
It's
hold.
a common union busting tactic.
You know, you're smart for your age, and
I'm reading Teen Vogue as it happens right now.
lack of
Teen
lack of
Vogue.
experience. I
Union
appreciate-
busting. What are some of the most common tactics employers use?
I appreciate your candor and attention to detail. That's wonderful. So let's go over to the table and let's have some conversation about how I wish for this to go down, as they say, tomorrow. And then he gets up slowly and he like shuffles over to the table in the back corner by a bunch of bookshelves, and he sits down at a stool by the table and he says, Please, Velma, do sit down next to me.
Oh, naturally. I would take the seat next to him.
Yeah, so then we're gonna have so it's like as you sit down next to him, camera starts to pull away, and he starts and he's like, so this is what I'm thinking, and he begins to tell you his plan as his voice as that part of audio slowly fades out, right as you're like talking into the wee hours of the evening. And then we're gonna fast forward to the next morning. So all of you are in your respective dorms. You're waking up to get ready to go to your classes. And so I think what we're going to do, we're going to just kind of go around briefly, and for each character, and kind of talk about like how you're starting your week out as we like kind of close out this little section here, for this evening, and know that the next session will deal a little bit more in detail about what the strike actually means. So what would Kashan? So Kashan's got this Dean puppet, and he just had waking up to start his week, and what his plans are looking like. So what's Kashan up to start his week off?
Yeah, so his roommate's not around as per usual. We don't know where he's at. He hasn't seen him for a while, but it's fine. Monday mornings are pretty clear because Sean, it's not a joke. He basically scheduled it that way, but followed it up with some. He's got to do some physical activity to be a paladin. So he's down in the yard learning how to use weapons. Learning how to use a heavy armor. It's not something he's used to, and he's like. He's kind of pushing his trainer because yeah, but wouldn't it be better if I just stabbed somebody from behind while they didn't even know I was there? It just seems to work so much better. But, I'm thinking though, once I get that smite action, I jab it in, I do the smite. I mean, this is brilliant. I mean, I don't know how nobody thought of this before. We be a sneaky paladin, okay? This is where it's at.
And the trainer that's working with you, because this is we'll call this it's not so much you don't have scheduled classes, but you're you have set up training time, right? So because you're hardcore about trying to you want to level up as soon as you can because you want the good stuff.
I go all in, right?
Yeah. So you're explaining this to the trainer, and the trainer's like, well, that's not really how it works. I mean,
it's totally how it works. Let me show you. Like,
I
all
mean,
of a sudden,
we are open up. We are open. I know Windshire is a very open, open school. Grades aren't really a thing here, and which has always been interesting to me. But I'm not so sure about this whole sneaky paladin stuff you speak of.
well, it's just, like, I get it. You got holy divine powers. That's great. But what about the less divine aspect of humanity that we need to use in the real world? I mean, right? We can't be all holy avenging perfect angels, right? We're people.
Um, can you make a persuasion check? Because that sounds like persuasion to me.
You better believe I can make a persuasion check. Let me find my die here. Okay, that's I'm guessing. Oh, it's booting up. Sorry about this.
No worries.
Persuasion. That is a 19 is what I got on persuasion.
So the trainer nods at you and looks and says, although it is highly unconventional, you bring about a very interesting point in the fact that regardless of one's alignment or one's intent, a belief is a belief, right? And if you are serving for the greater good, so to speak, why does it matter if it's in the light or in the
shadows?
In the shadows, if it is still for the greater good of your deity. And he's like pontificating on this more as like it fades, as like your scene kind of fades out, as he's like, tell me more about this sneaking paladin approach, and then and then yours scene fades out as you start explaining it. And then, so what would Azuri be doing on as the week begins?
Well, Azuri has quickly snuck out of the dorms early in the morning and is currently sleep deprived in the library. Mostly because he didn't want to talk to Jace after the weekend that he had. He really just wanted to nap for a long time and sleep. Jace was asleep when he got in, but he woke up before Jace to get out of there without any interaction, and is now currently in the library with a book, and is like half nodding off at a table right there, as he is so ill prepared to face the week ahead. Based on everything that's happened so far. So that's what he's doing. He's trying to psych himself up a little bit.
Okay.
Get a little reading in, but really he'd like to find a nice place to nap, but his dorm room's not that place.
As you start to doze off a little bit into your book, the librarian friend from year one, she approaches you. She comes up to the table where you're starting to sleep, and she gently taps you on your shoulder.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. What?
It's like, hey.
Yeah.
Hey. Hi, Azuri. It's I haven't seen you in a little while. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. Just yeah, reading a little bit. Not asleep. I wasn't asleep, was I? Not that asleep.
Well, yeah, you were kind of snoring a little bit, just for a little bit.
Yeah, rough night,
I'm about to take my break. You want to go get a coffee?
I'm gonna need a coffee to get through. Yeah, I'm not gonna make it through the rest of the day without a coffee. So yeah, sounds good.
And then so then as your scene fades out, she's talking to you, because if you recall, like at the end of last year, she was rather mad at you for your behavior that wasn't really your behavior, and she says, oh well, I've thought a lot over, I thought a lot over break and everything, and I'd really like to give our friendship another chance, because everybody has their stroke of rough times, and I think it might have just been a hard time for you first year in school, and so I think we should let's try to hang out more.
Yeah, we can hang out in the library all the time. Yeah.
And then as your scene fades out and you're walking to go get coffee, she's like, well, I was maybe thinking besides the library, and then your scene fades out.
Where else is there besides the library?
And then
I don't know.
And then we're gonna go to Skogar. What's Skogar's week start out like? And you're on mute.
Thank you. The camera pans over to Skogar, and he's sitting at a crappy dining room table next to a chalkboard, and it says Skogar 58, Carl 53. And you just hear Skogar go, Carl, get in here. Come on, man. It's 8 o'clock. We start arm wrestling at 8 o'clock.
Sorry, I'm coming. I was lubing my elbow joint, and comes in, sits in front of you, sets his arm down, hand open.
You don't have to tell me that you're doing that. I really don't care. That's like more of a personal thing. Anyways, get down here.
Okay, let's do this thing. And he grapples your hand, strength to strength.
All right. Oh no.
Ooh.
13.
21.
Damn it.
Slams your hand down with just a fervor, and he's like, yeah, bro, that's what I'm talking about. Nice try. And he goes and he takes the chalk and marks another mark on his score.
Yeah. They continue to do that while having a small conversation, as they do most evenings, with their mage oven pizza that they just got out. So he talks back and forth with Carl, and then he would be going and asking, or the next day, he knows that wrestling practice is in the morning, so he goes over and does his wrestling regiment with the coach, which I never wrote down the coach's name from forever ago, the one that gave him a letter. He's like, Coach, he goes, so you teaching me like some of these cool maneuvers, and I think they're going to be cool in combat. He goes, I think I came up with a new one though. Can I run it by you?
Yeah, show me what you got.
Okay, so he gets down. And they're not really doing it like a Roman wrestling stance, They're big tough guys, so they're pretty much standing barrel to barrel with fists out. And he goes, all right, watch this. And he kind of like just puts his hands up in the air and just grabs this big, nasty, gnarly handful of dirt and just whips it into the coach's eyes.
He's like, oh, what the hell? What? That's not a move. That's some shady shit, Skogar. You need to do some laps. Oh, man. He's like getting dirt out of his eyes.
Yeah. And Skogar just like kind of goes up to him. And as he runs by, knowing the coach is, his vision's impaired, just give him a tap on the cheek. Looks like it worked for me, coach. All right. And then he does pays it off with his laps. And that's how.
The one rewind that I think would be I think would be fun in your conversation with Carl is that we're gonna say that you like Carl starts to talk to you a little bit and he says,
yeah, they have their conversation over the wrestling. Yeah.
Yeah, and he says, you know, Skogar, I would really like to maybe try to find out a little bit more about the sections of my memory that have been erased and removed. I would like to understand my contribution to what happened during the morning, because it would seem that is the memories I do not have the capability to recall. Maybe you could help me.
Yeah, man, I'm here for you. But you know, a lot of Warforged go poking around their past, and you know, that was a terrible war. And if you like who you are today, I don't need to. You know, you don't need to focus on that, because you're a new person now. When they switched you, well, I know you don't like the term "switched you on," but you know what I mean. When they awoken you, he rolls another 13 as he slams his fist down.
and it's a tie. You tied it. So you're like at a stalemate.
Yeah, so it's just this intense moment as Skogar says that, and they're just gripping. And he grunts, says, you don't have to look in your past if you don't want to. And that's how they're talking that evening.
I just put in the chat the name of the coach. Coach
thank you.
Coach Bandersnitch.
Yeah, I'll write that down.
So you can write that down for future.
Yeah.
All right, so you fade out with Carl. Is Carl's sort of setting up a nice little side quest thing for you in the coming sessions of wanting to understand more about his past. And
yeah, that seems fitting.
And then I think I'd like to go to Velma, and I would just like Velma to describe how Monday morning starts with the strike and exactly how Grandpa has organized the gnomes to strike and what they're doing. What are you witnessing?
Well, the first thing that everybody notices when they get up in the morning to go to classes is that there's nothing but cold water in the showers. And so everybody goes a little bit, oh, darn it, we're going to have to like grab one of those gnomes this morning. And they just go to class with a little soapy. I am wearing I'm wearing a trilby with a paper card stuck in the hatband. It had written press on the side of. And that should immunize me against anything that happens today.
Okay.
As like gnomes just start popping up out of tunnels and like little cubby holes, and they start marching toward the main square.
Just like a bunch of fucking Oompa Loompas just coming from out of nowhere. Like just.
I mean, they're always invisible. Nobody notices them. And now, what the fuck? What all these little people came from?
Because there's so many. There's like 50 of them. Like nobody realized how many facilities gnomes there actually were until the strike happens.
They all look the same. Every time like Skogar hits somebody up for money about a loan payment.
And they're like
they all look the same.
And they're standing in a line. You're taking pictures, and they're like, "Hell no, we won't go. Hell no, we won't go." And they're just like chanting all kinds of like strike chants and everything. And you catch you see the dean walk through the gates and see this, and he just goes, "Ugh," and puts his hand on his forehead and just shakes his head. And he's like, you hear him mutter, he's like, "Oh, I better get a hold of HR and legal." And he just turns around and walks away as that scene fades out. And then let's go to Lucar. What's the start of Lucar's week look like?
Well, when I went back to my room on Sunday night, I was very worried about introducing Astrid to my roommate, Jorik. But Astrid and Jorik got along surprisingly well and were chatting all through the night. In fact, I had a hard time getting to sleep because they were so chatty. And I was just like, ugh. And then when I finally woke up and had to get ready, I take a cold shower, unfortunately. I don't know what's going on. I'm like, I can't believe I have to go to the dean's office. And Astrid's like, just go by yourself. It'll be fine. Me and Jorik will get things handled here. You'll be fine. And so I walk out and I'm sort of doing the Charlie Brown Snoopy walk across campus to get yelled at by the dean when I see a bunch of gnomes marching. And I'm like, I can't cross a picket line. I'm like, oh, but the dean's going to yell at me. But then I look over and I see the dean has also just sort of turned around and walked away. So I'm like, oh, maybe he's forgotten about me. And I'm like, so I'm not going to go to the dean's office. I really don't want to go back and deal with Astrid right now. So I guess I'll just go to the School of Magic and get some studying in.
All right. So so you're just as it's like this, like the fun moments that like where things sort of connect. Like you see, because as you walk out, you see the dean. You see him. He just went like this, and then you see him like muttering to himself as he walks off. And you see Velma's just taking pictures and writing down some notes and stuff of everything going on. And you're like, I don't want anything to do with that nonsense. And you're just like, and you just hightail it to the magic school. And and then we're gonna finish off with Lissa.
All right. So Lissa gets back to the dorm that night, and Sable is there, and Lissa tells Sable almost everything about the weekend.
Almost.
Oh well, she leaves out the secret that Astrid told her. She feels like not yet.
Okay. So
is there any mention of murder?
I think so, yeah.
Or at least our side of the story.
They attacked first, but the authorities never listen. So,
Lissa, you killed people.
Well, it was a mess. It was an accident. They got all uppity about us just being there, asking about the dragon shard. You know why? I think because they were guilty. They felt guilty about what they had done, and they knew it was wrong. And then they decided, just they stole, so why not murder? So they would have murdered us if we hadn't murdered them.
They stole? Or they just some random guys? Like, how did you find them?
Oh, no. Oh, so they were the Brain brothers. They stole the dragon shard from here. That's also under wraps. Not everyone knows about that. The dragon shard was stolen out of that first floor lab. So I'm telling you a lot, Sable. You need to not, spread this around.
Oh shit!
Right?
And she pinky promises you, and she's like,
oh, wait. Rainbow, what were they doing?
They had a farm, and it was I don't think you would have liked it very much. They were harvesting brains from farm animals.
What the fuck kind of bullshit is that?
I know,
That's
right?
messed up, man.
and she grabs some shit off of her nightstand. She's like throwing stuff around, getting all riled up.
Mm-hmm.
And you just notice that Sable's becoming just a little bit more slightly more violent here and there when she gets upset about something that she doesn't like because she doesn't know how to manage that internal rage. And she's like, oh, that makes me so mad. You know what? It's probably because you killed him. It's
right.
Probably good.
I think so. I think the world's a better place.
I mean, this isn't Carnath anyway. That place is a shithole.
Right next to the morning. I mean, they just all seemed so depressed over there.
It's so dark and gloomy. I never want to go there ever. Don't ever go there again, okay?
That's the plan.
Okay, good. That's good.
Uh-huh.
That's good. How's Kashan doing? Is he doing good?
He seems like he's doing good. he's getting used to the paladin lifestyle. I don't think he's quite there yet. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see if he.
Did he say anything about me?
I think he said something like, ooh. Well, so have I told you about Astrid at all? Lucar's friend.
Astrid? Who's that?
Well, so it's a family friend of Lucar's, and then we got a body for Astrid. So if you see that puppet hanging around Lucar, that's who it is, Astrid. But anyways, Kashan was like,
she makes a stank face. She's like, "That's freaking weird, man."
It was kind of cool.
Oh,
You just have to wait and meet her. She's pretty great.
You kind of like weird stuff, though. So it makes sense. That tracks.
Yeah, probably.
So what did Kashan say?
Oh, it's just he thinks you're better than Astrid. That's what he said. And not anything like Astrid's worse than Sable. No, nothing like that. The other way around.
Oh, that's so he likes me. That's pretty cool. I
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
He's a good guy. Oh, I drew a picture of me and him. And she shows you this picture, and it's like two stick figures like holding hands.
Oh, that's so cute.
and she just keeps talking about Kashan and about like and then goes off of that and starts talking about all the different adventures she had while you were gone and like it's like and then they ran out of grilled cheese in the cafeteria. That pissed me off. I was so mad.
How could they?
I flipped the table. I was pissed. And that scene fades out. And so
nice.
Yeah, so that was the welcome back adventure, which is the first adventure of year 2. So nicely done. You guys got a decent amount of side quests done, and et cetera, et cetera.
Well,
how much was in the pouch that the dean gave me?
Oh, like 5 gold apiece.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
Or however you want to divvy it up.
No, I'll be fair this time.
Just saying. This time.
Wait, did that happen? And did you divvy it up before we?
Yeah, I would say before we split up, I would, and then I would go find Velma, put it by, and give it to her the next day.
Skogar, I give all 5 gold pieces straight to you to start to pay off my debt.
As you turn around to say that, Skogar was already standing right behind you with his hand out. Oh, that's nice of you. Thank you. He just kind of scratches off, and then now it says 7 gold. Yeah, if you could just sign your. Okay, thanks.
Really? Just
no. Wait, well, never mind. It's fine. Verbal contract. Fine. Thank you.
just 5 gold. Wow. Lucrative. I'm not sure how I feel this all is honest living.
Yeah.
All right. So the next we'll start a new adventure in the next session. And yeah, there's no other surprises for this evening. We're gonna call it. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. It was a little role play heavy. We'll get back into some dice rolling action in a couple weeks. I think you did enough killing and stuff last session, so we kind of balance it out a little bit, a little
fair enough.
Tomato, a little bit of each. So hope y'all enjoyed yourselves, and if there's any character prep or anything, I'll send you guys some messages in Discord or through email. So, but thanks. Hope you had a good time.
Sounds good.
Thanks.
Take care, everyone.
Good night.
Yep. Take care.
Good night.
Bye.
Yep. Thanks, Bill.
Well, that was a blast. We got to meet Astrid, or sort of meet Astrid. and Kashan already dislikes her. Lucar is going to have his hands full, and not just with puppet strings. I wonder if the dean will talk to Lucar or just let it go. The Gnome Facilities team went on strike, and who knows how that will turn out. Hopefully Velma will tell their story. Azuri got asked out on a date, and it seems like Kashan is really invested in this paladin lifestyle, or at least his version of it. What a great start to their second year at Windshire. Be sure to look out for the next episode and hear what happens next. And thanks for listening to Eberron Adventures, brought to you by the Wednesday Night Crew. And as always, see you next week. Hey there, listeners. Would you like to support the Wednesday Night Crew as we go on adventures in Eberron, as well as play through other game systems as we have in the past, like Ice Fleet and Alien the role-playing game? If you're interested in supporting us, just go to patreon.com/Eberron Adventures, and then maybe you could be as cool as Jonathan and Andrew, our first two supporters. Once again, that's patreon.com/Eberron Adventures. Donate and get your name in the credits. I mean, that's kind of cool. Anyways, thanks for your support, and as always, we'll see you next week.